Here's what happened across the U.S. in the past hour, all in 60 seconds. President Trump issued a memorandum this week withdrawing the U.S. from the UN Climate Treaty, UNFCCC, and 65 other international bodies. Critics warned the move could limit U.S. influence in global climate talks. New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani defended tenant organizer Sia Weaver after scrutiny over past social media posts on housing and property. Mamdani said she is suited for his Office of Tenant Protection role. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. unveiled new dietary guidelines and a food pyramid emphasizing protein, including red meat and dairy. The plan limits added sugar and urges cuts in processed foods. In a series of social media posts this week, President Trump called for a $500 billion increase in annual defense spending. He also threatened to shut out some major contractors, sending defense stocks lower. An ICE officer in Minneapolis shot and killed a 37-year-old motorist after officials said she tried to drive into agents during an immigration operation. Mayor Jacob Frey demanded ICE leave the city. Salt Lake City police say 2 people were killed and 6 wounded when an altercation outside a funeral erupted in gunfire at an LDS chapel Wednesday night. No suspects are in custody. U.S. forces seized 2 sanctioned oil tankers linked to Venezuela, including the Bella One in the North Atlantic and the Sophia in the Caribbean. Officials say it is part of a sanctions enforcement campaign. Here's what happened across the U.S. in the past hour, all in 60 seconds. Federal prosecutors on Wednesday moved to drop charges against Harrison Floyd, a defendant in Georgia's election case accused of attacking FBI agents during a 2023 subpoena attempt. A judge approved the dismissal without prejudice. President Trump said Wednesday he spoke with Colombia's Gustavo Petro and is arranging a White House meeting after threats of military action. Petro said the call was respectful and asked to restart U.S.-Colombia dialogue. On Wednesday, President Trump said he'll seek a $1.5 trillion 2027 military budget, up from $901 billion for 2026. The request needs congressional approval and could significantly raise federal deficits. 9 House Republicans joined Democrats on Wednesday to clear a procedural step for a vote on a clean 3-year extension of ACA subsidies. The credits expired in 2025, and a Senate path remains uncertain. HHS froze billions in childcare, family assistance, and social services grants for 5 Democratic-led states this week, citing fraud concerns. Governors said the move could disrupt benefits for families and are considering court challenges. New York City Council members voted 51-0 on Wednesday to elect Julie Menin as the next speaker. Menin, a Manhattan Democrat, becomes the first Jewish speaker and will set the council's legislative agenda. Florida Gov. Ron DeSantis said he'll call lawmakers into a special session in April to redraw congressional districts. Republicans hold 20 of 28 seats, and critics say the move aims to strengthen GOP control. Here's what happened across the U.S. in the past hour, all in 60 seconds. House Republicans moved a 3-bill minibus spending package toward a floor vote this week, setting closed rules for commerce, justice, science, energy, water, and interior environment funding. Leaders say the vote is aimed at keeping agencies funded. The Pentagon ordered a 6-month review of women in ground combat roles, asking the Army and Marine Corps for data by John 15. The review will assess readiness, performance, and unit climate. Portland's 12-member city council deadlocked through 9 rounds of voting on Wednesday, splitting 6-6 between Elena Pertle-Guiney and Samir Kanal for council president. Members plan to reconvene Thursday to try again. The University of Cincinnati announced the Bearcat Affordability Grant to cover remaining tuition for Ohio freshmen from families earning under $75,000, starting fall 2026 for Pell-eligible students. It applies across UC campuses. Nebraska lawmakers began steps to expel Senator Dan McKeon after a complaint accused him of a charged remark and inappropriate touching at a 2025 party. He has pleaded not guilty. House Speaker Mike Johnson formally invited President Trump to deliver the State of the Union on February 24. The address would be Trump's first formal State of the Union of his second term. A new analysis says key 2018 Farm Bill provisions expired in 2023 and have been extended year to year. It argues recent SNAP and subsidy changes could block a full 5-year bill in 2026. The White House finalized changes to the National Environmental Policy Act rules to speed federal permitting. The update narrows environmental reviews and could limit when agencies must complete full impact statements.